Can you guys see me or hear me? I hit start streaming on the software, but it's got a countdown happening. It's at 16 seconds, 15 seconds, 14 seconds. I think it's going to start streaming as soon as that countdown. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Live in 78 seconds. If anybody has heard my voice, please state in the chat. I have hit begin streaming on my software, and it can you see me now? Anybody see or hear me now? Well, it's in my way. I hope they can't hear me if I'm typing. It's not working. Maybe I need to hit refresh. Oh my goodness, why isn't this working? This is not cool, bro. Please, I'm supposed to be live streaming right now. Please don't do anything. Hello? Yes. Oh, that's so wonderful. Good to know. Okay, sorry guys. I have been notified that everybody's seeing me, but what I'm seeing on my television screen is from 10 minutes ago, so that's really confusing to me. Okay, now I see the chat. People are talking. The chat I was looking at did not have all this. Okay, thank you, Trisha. I appreciate it. Bye. We have been live this whole time, Ryan. Okay, guys. How are you? I'm going to click around here and try to fix what my view is because it's not showing me as live on my screen. It's showing me talking on the phone to Trisha still, so I don't know why it's doing that. Really weird. And my chat screen is itty bitty tiny. Say hi, Rowan. Hi. Bear with me. I don't know why this is not doing what I expected it to do, but I can't even open up my chat all the way. It's really weird. So I'm just gonna. I don't. It's weird seeing myself talking at a different rate. But I see the chat now. Hello from Denmark. Hi, Rowan. How are you? Browncoat Homestead says. Hi, part-time permies. Glad you're here. Tara Santiago, Chrissy Betts, Trisha Gordon, Haywire Homestead, McRae Family Homestead, P. Hess, the Bee Lady Apiary, Sam Stevens. All y'all are here. Yay! You're on the wrong page of your channel to see the live stream. Yes, Sam Stevens. Apparently I am. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be. This is really confusing to me. I've never done this from the computer like this. Hi, Ryan. Tara says. Hi. Hi, Mud Pie Girl. Hi, Allie Oakley. Hi, Go for Green Living. Hank Mullins. Pickerick. Creating Essence. Food Forest. Permaculture. Looks like everybody's here tonight. Hi, Papa's Hobby Homestead, Willow Creek Homestead.
Hi.
Oh, you saw the Star Wars pants. How did you see the Star Wars pants? I thought I was hiding them. Oh, no, Ryan's not wearing his. Oh, goodness. I don't even know if I'm showing my leg in the screen because it's not in the right place on the television. Hi. So, how is the weather, everybody? The Music Well says it's snowing in Tennessee. That's crazy. I know we're supposed to be getting really cold temperatures this weekend. 60 in the room? See, I don't even see that. Where do you see that? That's awesome, Susan Sullivan. Thanks for that update. I do look a little different without my bandana, I guess. Somebody said.
It's kind of weird. There's such a delay on the video on our end that I'm like watching us from 5 minutes ago or something, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know if I click over here and click live. That's usually what I do when I'm watching a live stream. Sorry, y'all. I don't mean to be trying to figure it out while I'm talking to y'all. That's kind of rude. So I almost feel like I just need to ignore the screen. Talk to the people. My hair is really long. I usually at this point I'm having another child and I end up cutting it all off and donating it. But no babies this time around.
Is this one me?
No,
that's
a different Rowan.
Why?
This is really weird. If anybody knows how to get my screen in the right place so that I'm looking at what is actually happening, feel free to let me know. On the top of the chat, there are 3 buttons you can click. Pop out chat, and it helps keep up on everything. At the top of the chat. Yeah, but how do I see myself as live? I wonder if I go, you know what? That might help. Okay, that's better. That's better. I am going to ignore the YouTube version. I am going to, thank you, Robin. Robin said I was looking very beautiful tonight. She's so sweet. She's always so nice to me. If I do pop out chat, and then I pop out my OBS service, for those of you who don't know what all I'm talking about, I don't either. So there's that. Okay, that looks normal. Yay! Oh, okay. So, does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to know about? I know there's been a lot of talk about the elderberry cuttings. If anybody wants to know any more about that, I'm going to be putting together a steaming article all about how to take cuttings and how to grow cuttings of elderberry so that the people who want elderberry will have something to guide them with. Hey, if the kids can eat candy, I want some too, says Sam. I thought I was bribing them with sending them to the other room with a choice of the candy from the Christmas candy bag, but yeah. We have a blue, somebody asked what kind of bird we have back here in the bird cage. We have a blue-fronted macaw, no, not a macaw, blue-fronted Amazon. I wish it was a macaw. I love macaws. Hey, Dan from Grassfed Homestead. Glad you made it. Thank you for stopping in to say hi, even if you can't stay. I really appreciate that. Okay, B Lady has a question. I wondered if it is a depressed area where you live, would you move so Ryan can get a better job? I would. We thought about it. Like, I have family up in Massachusetts that have really great job opportunities, but I have 2 children that are older, Vivian and Dalton. Most of you probably know, and their dad lives here. So if I left, I'd be leaving Vivian and Dalton. So I can't do that. All right, Liam. Shh. It's okay. Yes, please put questions in all caps, like Trisha said from Willow Creek. Yes, you can grow ginger in containers. I would start them, if your growing season isn't long enough, I would go ahead and start them inside in containers and then plant them out. There's a question for Ryan.
2 Cedars Micro Farm. Did I make any more ice buckets? I did not. It didn't get, I guess it didn't get cold enough after I made that first one, or I wasn't really trying because I didn't even try to make that first one. It was just an accident.
Mike Carey asks, where in Massachusetts are you from? I'm from the southeastern coast near Rhode Island. They're okay. They're okay. I know it's hard. We are all feeling better. Luckily, we have some sinus. Me and Ryan still have a little sinus congestion. I can't hear a thing, and I have a lingering cough, but it's pretty much worked its way out. Yes, turmeric can be grown in pots too, and I will be growing a ton of turmeric this coming spring. Smash that thumbs up button. Yes, suburban hillbilly lobster was definitely a staple food in my household growing up. We were a small farm type, sustainable farm. And my mom had 5 kids, or my parents had 5 kids, and my mom stayed home with us, and my dad was a fisherman, and lobstering was his biggest haul that he did, and they pretty much, we lived off of lobster when there was nothing else. So I miss lobster.
Hi.
I do hope to plant some more fruit this year, Sam. We've got a bunch of pawpaw seeds that have been getting cold stratified through the winter in the refrigerator, and we'll be planting those in pots pretty soon. I want to do more strawberry, more blueberry, more blackberry. The trees down in our orchard area on the other end of our property that we don't show that often or go to that often have not done well because the deer have eaten it all.
What do you want? This head or this head? Hi.
So Part-Time Permies does a herb of the week on their live show. Can you shush? And they're going to be doing turmeric as their herb of the week this week. So definitely check that out. Is it Sunday night, Cindy? Is that when you guys do it? Sunday night, I think, that they do their live. Persimmon does really well in Georgia. I would like to get the big persimmon. That would be I think it's the Asian. You're being rude. You got to talk to people, not just say hi and wave, but like ask them a question if you want, or say something about the farm.
This planet is so big.
This planet is so big. This is true. But we have some dewberry plants that we got from a friend last year that we'll be putting in the ground this year. They've been growing in pots, so those will be going in the ground. Hey, Daybird Avery, so glad you made it. Maybe Squirt will come up to the top of his cage and say hi to you. I know you don't have good internet reception, so it's hard for you to get these live shows, so I appreciate you stopping in. Japanese persimmons. Yes, Susan Sullivan, that's what they are. I knew there was something like that. Any more questions? We've just basically been riding out this wet weather. The goats don't like it. They've been in the barn for 2 days. They're not happy. They got to go out for a couple of hours today when the rain stopped, but it was so muddy out there. Hey, Hickory Hill Homestead. Glad you made it, Rachel. So good to see you in here. Blue Sky Acres asks, how long did it take to build up your beautiful goat herd? We actually were able to build our goat herd pretty darn fast. We have a very good friend. The person who I was getting my goat milk from before I had goats, unfortunately, she was my goat mentor before I had goats, and unfortunately, she passed away from her lost her battle with cancer the spring that she was going to be giving us our first 2 goats. So we ended up getting more than just 2. Her husband ended up giving us goats after goats after goats. So we just kept getting goats from him, and that really helped us build up our herd really quick. But that was what she wanted. She wanted to help us. She wanted to see us do well. And of course, he had a hard time managing the herd without her. So it was, whoa. Who did that? I just, thank you. It doesn't say. Why doesn't it say? The super chat. Somebody just, okay, now it says DIY solar and wind. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's really, really awesome of you. Smash those thumbs up. Yay.
Smash the thumbs up button.
Hey, Rowan. Rachel, my friend in Virginia at Hickory Hill Homestead, she wants to know how you're doing with your watercolors that she sent you for Christmas.
You mean
the watercolor paintings that you did?
You mean
Do you want to show her some of them? Do you know where they are? You might not know where they are. But they're loving it, Rachel. Thank you so much for sending those nice gifts to the boys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm behind on the comments. I'm scrolling back down. What's the best goats for milk? I personally feel as though Nubians are the best goats, period. Just all across the board. I think they have great personalities and they're really pretty. And their milk is a high butter fat and a high volume. Nigerian dwarf have very good butter fat, even better butter fat, but they're smaller volume and more importantly, their teat size is so small that it's hard to milk. And then the Alpines have been really nice. The Alpines were something I hadn't expected to get, but they have worked very well for us.
You guys go to the
Ryan, you can jump in and answer anything you want to. Mini Nubians are a great cross between the two, so that's something I would definitely consider doing. My mentor that mentored me for the what's the name of my latest certification? Journeyman Farmer Certification. She has mini Nubians. She started her goat herd at the same time as my friend that passed away started hers, and they both started with Nubians, and she started breeding in the minis. I love your Alpines too, Trisha. Trisha at Willow Creek Homestead has two really cute Alpines. She has Apple and Pumpkin, and Pumpkin really reminds me of my Peanut. I miss my Peanut so much, and that was just one of the nicest goats ever.
Daybird aviaries. What is my favorite vegetable? Broccoli.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I love broccoli. It's like my favorite. I never get tired of it.
Nigerians for tiny hands would be very good, Sam. That might be really good for you. Plus, another thing to consider is I did do the Dancha Farms milk machine because I had some Alpines that had really tiny teats, and I could not do it. Don't interrupt. And so I got that, and that works really well for the tiny teated girls. That really, really helps. Your favorite food?
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs. And where did the eggs come from?
Chickens.
From whose chickens?
Ours.
Yes, the best eggs in the world.
Yeah, we
eat broccoli like seriously almost every week, if not more often than once a week.
Oh.
We love broccoli. We never do grow enough of it though.
Don't be mean to your
That's great, Robin, that you were able to plant a ton of broccoli. I hope to this year. Haywire Homestead asks, I am considering taking the Master Gardener course for my estate. What benefits do you feel have gained from taking the course? I feel like if you are a beginning or intermediate gardener, you should definitely take the Master Gardener course. If you're an advanced gardener, the Master Gardener course is just kind of a repeat of a lot of what you already know, more than likely. At least that's how it felt to us when, well, you didn't, well, to me. I told him he wasn't going to be able to, he would be able to just pass it right away without even taking the class. And so anyway.
Why don't you guys go play?
Oh, the Florida Georgia line, bee lady. That's tempting. Kelly PB fam, that's a good question. That's something I've wondered. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do is when her, so she asked about the tapeworm issue with the dog. Would we treat the ground after the worm issue is over? I wouldn't want to use anything that's strong enough to treat the ground on my property. I'm very organic. So I would probably move her so that there would be no reoccurrence of the issue. Trisha says, I would consider myself a master gardener. Oh wait, just kidding. No, Trisha has the brown thumb, but we're working with her. We're helping her. She's pretty good at trees.
Dude.
Yes, Robin, it would be cool to be closer to you if I moved to the Florida line. That would be real close to you. I'm scrolling back up real quick to see if I missed any major questions. If they were in all caps, I would see them. So make sure that you are in all caps, because when I'm doing this quick scroll, I won't see it with the quick scroll. All right, I'm not seeing any questions in all caps that I missed. So I'm going to scroll back down. If anybody has any more questions, please feel free. That is not true, Robert. Robert at Daybird Avery says, I'm a master of nothing. You're the master of the birds. You're the bird king. But this is soda, Red Rock ginger ale, all natural from our Georgia, I don't know. It's made in Georgia. Albany Mountain Homestead asks, have you decided on a price for your elderberry? I have gotten really confused and conflicting answers on elderberry price. So I was looking it up, and I see some cuttings that are like sold for $10 a piece, and I see some that are $3 a piece. So I think I'm just going to try to find a happy medium. But I'm trying to find the best way to ship them, because the smallest flat rate shipping box is too small to put them in, because you want enough nodes on the elderberry cutting so that it will have a chance to root and grow. And it's too short, so I'm gonna have to go back to the post office, which they are not very customer service friendly at our post offices, apparently. Wow, Pickerick, thank you so much for that donation on the super chat. I hope I have a prosperous year too. I tell you, last year has got to be like the worst year ever in farming, and of course it's the first year I'm doing YouTube, so you guys probably think I'm just don't know what I'm doing half the time. I guess half the time I don't. Mike Carey, the how-to videos. I would really like to do more how-to videos. I have been brainstorming and writing down in my notebook some series of YouTube videos that I want to do. One of the series is going to be how to naturally care for goats for dummies. And I want to do a fermenting series and a gardening series. Those are like the top 3 things that I feel very confident and strong and powerful, like, with being able to teach. Monique asks, why seeds in the fridge? So not all plants need to go through a cold stratification, but pawpaws do. And so I have to harvest them fresh and wet. Excuse me, soda made me burp. And I have to keep them damp the entire time. So they're damp and in the fridge. And that is going to encourage them to grow when I do put them out into the soil. Oops, I just scrolled way past everything. So exactly part-time primaries. It can only get better. And I have some really, really great plans in motion. I was on the phone all day yesterday talking to the Department of Agriculture. I was on the phone with the Extension office. I was finding out talking to market managers about a local market that's just 10 minutes from here that I can go to on Wednesdays and Saturdays. There's also a new place opening 10 minutes from here that's called Local Provisions, that's supposed to be providing fresh local food from farmers, and I have already spoken with them, and we are hopefully going to be partnering with them and selling some of our products at that store location. I have lots of contacts with chefs and stuff too, so hopefully it's all going to work out. Oh, Rocky Brook Farmstead, I'm sorry you have a sick baby goat. What's going on? Anything I can help with? Oh, good night, Sam. Sorry you're going to bed already. I hope you have a great night. Oh, you're leaving too, Pickers? Thank you so much for being here. Good night. Oh, Mud Pie Girl, are you leaving too?
I just got back and everybody's leaving.
Yeah. You got the kids to sell down.
Tried to. We'll see how long that lasts before they come back.
I don't mind them coming up here. It's just when they're rudely screaming and interrupting. I guess that's what kids do. Any other questions out there? I did not. So Robin asked about the dog's poop today. I did not have a chance to check the poop because I didn't go out with the goats this morning. Ryan did because it was raining, and so I didn't watch her poop today. We use the same dewormer that we use for the goats. Yes, the Molly's Herbal Formula 1 and 2 can be used with other species of animals as well. Yes, Blue Sky Acres. I am so ready for kidding season. I can't wait. I'm really particularly, actually, surprisingly, a little bit more excited about seeing what the Alpine Nubian cross is going to bring.
Yeah, that's going to be
That's going to be cute little airplane ears. Rich and Clovia was concerned about how elderberries would do. Water being scarce could be an issue. They do like a good water source. You might have to supplement that, but they are good from zones 4 to 9. So those are the temperature ranges for how they grow across the country pretty much. Oh, good, Rocky Brook. I'm glad your little guy is better. Let me know if you need anything, any questions or anything. Please feel free to reach out to me. Oh, Sam, I hope you do move to Georgia. That would be great. Dahlonega is a nice area. Why did I name my goat Fluffernutter? Well, I'll explain the Fluffernutter. He named the goat, actually. Ryan has this way of stealing all the names because he comes up with really good ones.
I can't help it. I'm good at it.
You are good at it. Fluffernutter is brown and white, and it's the color of peanut butter and fluff, and a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwich is called a Fluffernutter in New England where I grew up. So that was just the perfect. No kidding in the freezing temps, isn't that right, Rachel? Scary time for you with your little guys getting cold. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that my kidding won't be until it's a little bit warmer, especially when I'm looking at the forecast for this week. What did you say the temperature was going to be?
It's going to be a lot cooler this week. We have one day where the low is 17 and the high is 34. So we just had a really warm week, and now cold front just moved through this morning, and it's going to be cold again. So Georgia likes to do this flip-flop thing with the temperatures.
Rocky Brook asks, what should I do to keep warm? I really wish I could chat with you. You can contact me on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Wholesome Roots Passionate Plants Facebook page. You can send me a message there, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. If a goat drops into low temperatures, if their temperature goes below 101, then you have to heat them up, especially with a baby. You have to heat them up really quick. So putting them on a heating pad, hot hair blow dryer underneath a blanket or a towel, towels in the dryer, heated up and wrapping them, a heat lamp, a space heater, anything you could do. People will even take them and put them in a tub of hot water. I'm talking like 110 degrees hot to get their temperature back up. Part-time Permies asked, how many cuttings did you get? I just took an experimental bunch of cuttings and just did 10, and it was like not even a dent in my bush. I seriously can do a lot of cuttings. Do minis have any more health issues than regular goats? Ask Escarai Lone Wolf. Sorry if I got your name pronunciation wrong. I don't think so. I have not seen where any. The only thing that I can say in the difference of health of goats is that meat goats tend to be stronger and hardier and more parasite resistant. But dairy goats are definitely on the more sensitive side in general. Do the goats? Whoops. Do the goats also eat the mushrooms? I have not seen the goats eat any mushrooms, and there's no mushrooms in their area that are edible, so I don't know if they would or not. But I have seen mushrooms in the wild that were edible that were obviously eaten on by deer, so there's a good possibility.
Yeah, I've never seen them eat mushrooms before.
Hey, Two Family Homestead, I didn't see you come in. I missed you there. Good to see you.
This is so different for me. I'm like trying to read all these comments coming in, and I'm like, and then I realize I'm not talking like much at all. Gotta get used to this, I guess.
Ooh, Holly Stacklin, that's a very important question. What would you use as a natural remedy for deer worm, meningeal worm? I would probably use the chemicals for that. I've seen lots of people lose their goats to that one very quickly. So I think I would have to go with the chemical dewormer.
What's my favorite chore on the farm? Well, you guys all know it's not mucking stalls, if you remember that video. My favorite, well, I like taking care of the chickens, and I actually do like milking the goats too. So I think it's a tie between those two.
I like milking. I think milking is therapeutic. When it's the easy girls. When it's those tiny teats, no, that hurts. You have two does with it, Holly Stackland. I'm so sorry. What I will recommend is a Facebook group that I feel confident in recommending their strategies for handling sick animals is very effective, and they do go the chemical route, so they know the proper dosages for the chemicals. So it is Successful Goading with Rosie. It is not my group. I'm not the Rosie in that group. But I feel strongly that Rosie and her admins will give you the correct answer. And they have an incredible amount of information in their files. So you very likely can find it in their files. Ryan, just talk about things you like, and we'll ask questions from there.
Is it okay to talk about things that I like here?
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want.
Because I like puppies, kittens, and little baby chicks. I love all kinds of things. Trying to think of the context to talk about them in relation to live chat. So.
Trisha made a really good comment. She said, if Rose says use chemicals, you run to do it, because I never say that. I really don't. I really don't. Unless I think it's a life or death situation. That's when I am going to say, go get those chemicals and use them. Because that's what they're there for. They're there for when the natural treatments don't work. But I will say that you can naturally support the immune system by using the Molly's herbals at a high acute dose. You can give lots of garlic, give lots of vitamin C, vitamin B complex shots, probiotics. All of those are very important to help keep their immune system high while you're fighting the worms. And you definitely want to do the vitamin B complex shot and the probiotics while they're really fighting something like that. What breeds of chickens do you raise?
Rhode Island Reds, Americanas, Black Copper Maran, Easter Eggers, and many more. You know, you can name them all quicker than me, probably.
Cream leg bar, did you say it?
No.
I was reading the comments and letting you answer, so I didn't even listen to you. I'm sorry. Cream leg bar, Marans, Americanas, olive eggers, red, Rhode Island red.
Rhode Island Reds, white leghorn.
We got like one leghorn.
2 or 3.
What's the matter, Rowan? Okay.
He's just dancing.
My favorite chore is sleeping too. I did not get any sleep the night before last, and it was horrible. I just had the hardest day yesterday.
What is mountain water, Grizz 270?
I think you and Grizz might have a lot in common.
If mountain water is what I think it is, I would like to help sample it also.
Our ducks are laying through the winter, which is really nice. It's been really, really good to have the duck eggs still, even when the chickens slow down. They seem to take like a week off, but then they pick back up. I like Great Danes, Great Pyrenees, St. Bernard, LOL, part-time Burmese. I don't know what that's in reference to. I just saw that it was in all caps, so I started reading it. But I like Great Danes and Great Pyrenees too, and St. Bernards too. I have a Great Dane. She is 14 years old, and guys, she is so close to the end. It's so sad seeing how skinny she's getting, and she's so happy still. But she's just not. She's 14. Great Danes do not live that long.
Hickory Hill asked how's my job going. It's tough. It's a tree service, so a lot of hard work cutting down trees all day.
And they don't work when it rains.
Yeah.
So he's not had a full week of work yet, so that's kind of been hard. But with all the help that we got from you guys with 2 family homesteads and help, it's made things a lot better, and I appreciate all of that from everyone. It really, really made a difference in our lives.
I got Daniel Tiger.
I like most things hairy except my ex. Sam Stevens. You put that in all caps and I read it. Did you do that on purpose? Oh, Part-Time Permies is going to be the guest Monday night on 2 Family Homestead's live show. Do not miss it.
Me too.
Which chickens are best for cooking? Roadside Dan asks. I'm not a fan of the Cornish cross because they're just so unhealthy and just so overbred. We're looking at doing Freedom Rangers. We have a friend that's tried them and they've been really good for them. But they go a little bit longer. They're not an 8-week harvest. They're more like a 10 to 12-week harvest. Diatomaceous earth is something I use sparingly. I mean, I use it a little. I use it for exterior lice on the goats, which we have every once in a while. We'll see 1 or 2 lice in the winter. It's pretty normal. And I sprinkle the stall with it so that any insects that come into contact with it in the stalls on the ground will be taken care of. But internal diatomaceous earth is controversial People don't really know if it works. Excuse me again. I should stop drinking soda. But the diatomaceous earth, I've seen it work really well with our cats. When I gave it to them in wet cat food, their worms were gone. So I have some belief that it could possibly work internally as well as externally, but there's no proof on that. So somebody said, Green Gables Homestead said, how long is your hair? I don't think I've ever seen it down. It's down to the bottom of my rib cage. I tend to, every couple of years when I have a kid, usually, I tend to cut it off and send it in for a donation. Read this in caps. Hello, Rose from Bandana Grandma. Hello, Bandana Grandma.
Her hair is longer than the beard. I know it's pretty long, but
Are you trying to compete? No, last winter. Was it last winter? Or it was in the summer. When was it wicked long? It was like so long.
Yeah, that was
It
like
was in
early summer.
I am not, the Toasted Rabbit asked, are you interested in raising meat rabbits? I am personally not interested in raising meat rabbits. I had a rabbit when I was a teenager. It was a 4-H project. And I was in love with it. It was a pet, and the neighborhood dog killed it violently, and I just can't. I don't think I would ever be able to. I don't even want to have them, even as a pet. So, wicked long. Are you from Boston? Bandana Grandma asks. I am from Massachusetts. Ryan, do you have any hobbies you like to do?
I do. I like to make wine when I can, which I haven't made it as often as I like to. And
He makes good wine.
matter of fact, we have 5 gallons sitting in secondary fermentation on the counter that I just haven't got around to bottling yet. It's probably about time that I do that.
Yeah, yeah. And I was recording him through the whole process. I pulled out the camera and recorded it. So when he goes to rack it, I'll record that. And then when he goes to bottle it, I'll record that. And then we'll have a really long video of how to make wine. But it will be worth it being long, because I searched YouTube for how to make wine videos, and there's literally none that are complete from beginning to end. So not one. So we will be, maybe that'll be our viral video. The Bee Lady Apiary asks, how much land are you on? We have 14.3 or something like that acres here. 3 of those acres are the pond, and most of it is behind the pond and not really accessible. The road from the dam over the pond is very steep and rocky and muddy on the other end. So it's really hard even for a tractor to get up that side. We do rent, so it's just rented land, unfortunately. I would love to be able to purchase it someday, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed that the landlord might decide someday that she wants to sell it to us instead of her granddaughter.
I would love to go to the UK and try some Scrumpy Jack cider. That sounds pretty good.
We've made some cider before too, and mead. We pretty much experimented with it all. Freaky Geek, I just saw that you were here. Glad to see you. My hair is not long enough because I'm not walking on it, she says. It goes to about this length, and then it usually doesn't grow past this length. This is usually about when it stops growing. So, did you record the bloopers too? We should have, huh? Maybe we'll have to get some records of when we sample the wine. Wholesome Roots. Am I going to the conference in Virginia? I hope so. I have a lovely place to stay with my bestest friend, Rachel, at Hickory Hill Homestead. So it's just a matter of whether I can get there. Take the time away from the farm. Depends on what Ryan's work is at that time. And what his schedule is like, and if I can leave him and the kids and get away. I am going to the Georgia Organics Conference in February. I got a full scholarship for that. I not only got a full scholarship, but Saturday morning they're going to be honoring me for my Journeyman Farmer certification. I'm super excited about that. And they even gave me a scholarship or a free hotel room. So, really excited about the Georgia Organics Conference this year.
I think you're going to be a little bit sad about this. I mean, that. My water just filled in the bathroom, and I think it touched the clothes.
Okay, did you clean it up?
Yeah.
Get the towel and clean it up.
Turn the water off.
That water needs to be turned off. I wish I could bring the goats to Virginia with me. That would be fun. I really missed them when I was gone. Hickory Hill Homestead says, regarding the conference, she'll have another suitcase waiting because Two Family Homestead and other friends gave us so much presents that it was incredible that I had to have a whole nother suitcase to get home. Hey, Dirt Patch, Heaven Julie, glad you made it. Yeah, I'm live. Incredible, right? I was lucky that Santa gave me a webcam for my computer. So we've been wanting to do live shows, and I said, well, the Friday night has an opening, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. If you had a chance, what would you add to your homestead? Animal or structure?
Tractor?
Green Gables Homestead tractor. Definitely tractor. That's something that we were supposed to get last year with our tax returns, and we're talking about getting this year with our tax returns, but they are really expensive. And so we're trying to find one that's kind of like a fixer-upper, you know. Wholesome Roots, do you do bees on the 14 acres? We had 2 hives, not last year, the year before, and we lost both of them during the dearth. It was really sad, and we were supposed to get some in the spring from a friend who was supposed to have them for us in the spring, and they ended up losing too many of their hives to be able to part with any. So, again, this spring, we're hoping to get some. It's hard finding a good source for bees that's close enough that we can get them here and get them established. But I love having bees. It was the most amazing experience. I told Ryan I could see myself having 50 hives someday. It was that much of a enjoyable thing. I loved watching the bees. I loved checking the bees. It was just... Yes, Ryan's eyes did light up about the tractor. He loves working on the tractor. All of his farm jobs, that's what he's done a lot of on the farms, and he loves it. The Freaky Geek asks, what is dearth? Dearth is in the late summer, early fall, when there's hardly anything blooming and there's no nectar available. The person who I bought the bees off of that year told me not to feed them no matter what. He was wrong. I should have been feeding them, and I didn't know that, and they starved and left. They just took up and left. And he also advised me wrong about the wax moth larva that he gave me. So I let the wax moth get too bad because he told me they would take care of it. Not fun. Not a good way to go. But I learned my lessons, and I know not to listen to that person anymore. But that's why I don't know where to get my bees now, because he was the closest person, and I don't want to get them from him now if he gave me advice that made me lose my bees. Sorry, I'm trying to read some of the... Yeah, it's really sad to have starving bees. It's really sad. What is the approximate cost to get started in bees? We're looking to try them this year. Bee Lady Apiary is in the house. She will be able to answer that probably better than I. We got used equipment, so it was cheap, but usually a nuke of bees, like the actual bees in a cardboard box ready to dump into the equipment, is $250 right there. So the bees themselves are very expensive. Yes, I'm very aware. Bee Lady Apiary said, Rose, if you're using diatomaceous earth, that kills bees. That is a big reason why I don't use diatomaceous earth in the garden hardly ever. I don't even remember the last time we did use it in the garden for pest
I
control
don't think we have.
because I was so scared that the bees would land on it and the other beneficial insects. Once an insect touches diatomaceous earth, it cuts little holes all over their feet, and those insects dehydrate and die because of it. Folks, I ain't gonna lie, if you do not get a swarm, nukes are expensive. I would love to get a swarm. I would not be afraid of going and catching a swarm if somebody called me and said, come catch this swarm, but it seems like people always get to them before me. I'm always like 5 minutes after the post goes up when somebody says they see a swarm. I'm the last one to actually be able to see it. Yeah, Chrissy Pets, they're not cheap to get started. To get started, it's very expensive. But if you can keep them alive, then they make up for it in the very first honey harvest that you get. And I would not be able to afford to get the bees if it weren't for the tax returns. Our tax returns we always use as farm investment tools to try to increase our ability to provide for our family and hopefully to make money for our family. This farm thing is gonna make money at some point. It has to. I'm just scrolling up because I didn't see anything in all caps on the lower part, so I'm scrolling up to see if I missed any. Are you guys going to make anything out of the goat's milk? Blue Sky Acres asks. We make cheese, yogurt, milk keeper. That's pretty much it. We cook with it. We drink it. We love our goat's milk. What have you made so far with the goat's milk? Oh, you probably did that because I hadn't seen it and I scrolled up and saw it. If you're good at carpentry, it's easy to build a beehive. I have heard that, Sam. I have seen kits that you have to put together, and I've also seen where people make them from scratch. So, excuse me. Willow Creek Homestead, I would really like to do a top bar hive. That's really cool that you have one. You should totally get some bees. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read these comments. Oh, we have some videos on making cheese. We have several videos on making cheese and yogurt, I think, too. Yogurt is super easy to make, even easier than cheese. You just bring it up to hot temperature, and then you make sure that the temperature comes down to 90, between 90 and 100, and add your starter and put it in a warm place to rest for 8 to 10 hours, and you have yogurt. It's pretty simple. That's pretty cool, Sam. I might have to look into that. Ryan's pretty good with building stuff.
I dabble.
Hickory Hill Homestead asks, when making mozzarella, when do you stop stretching? Mine turned out hard. Oh, I've done that. I've done that. What did I call it? I called it regular mozzarella. You know, like the mozzarella you buy in the store that's not fresh. It's kind of how it comes out because you stretched it so much. I basically just stretch it a couple of times until I'm seeing it go stretchy, and then I roll it into a ball and leave it. Yes, I do have a video on making butter with my Ninja. Good. I'm glad that Daryl was able to try that. That's fun. It was a lot of fun. Hickory Hill said that her mozzarella wouldn't melt because you stretched it so much and it got so hard. That's funny. We used ours, we shredded it when it got hard like that. We put it on a shredder and shredded it and put it on pizza, I think, or lasagna. I can't remember which. Hello, Passionate Gardener. Glad to have you here. Sam Stevens asked, Rose, will this be a regular live stream?
Maybe.
I say yes. I say that we should do it every Friday night. What do you guys think? Ryan's like, what if I don't feel like it one Friday night? And I was like, then you can sit out. I mean, and if I don't feel like it, then I can just say sorry, no show tonight. But I think it would be good to have it as a regular thing. And that way you guys would know to expect it every Friday at 8. If that works for you guys. If there's a different time, then please tell us if there's a better time. Grizz has a question that Bee Lady Apiary might be able to answer better. His question is, how many quarts of honey on average does one get from a hive? I go through 100 quarts a year. Wow, that's a lot of honey. We go through a lot of honey too, though. Do you ever make any fermented drinks out of all your yummy ginger? Yes, we do a ginger bug, and then we make like kind of like mock soda with it. So the ginger bug activates it and makes it bubbly. So it's good. More live streams. See, Ryan, they want more.
I'm trying to read still too. It's kind of. I feel like I should have a earpiece and have somebody just like reading me questions or something.
I know, right?
So I'm not looking at the camera, looking at you guys. I'm looking down. Like
25 quarts a year. Grizz corrected himself. I was gonna say 100 quarts. That's a lot. I mean, we do go through a lot of honey though. We put it in everything, and we use it to make our elderberry syrup. I have a video on that for anybody that's looking to make elderberry syrup. I know that's popular right now with the flu going around. You know, when we had the flu, I had run out of elderberry syrup, and I had run out of elderberries. And I really think that's why we got the flu, because normally we take elderberry syrup every day during the flu season. And Ryan went to the store, and he found a bottle of elderberry syrup at the store already made, and he brought it home when I was like on my deathbed. I mean, like I was sitting in that recliner back there and didn't move for 5 days. I had a high fever. It was bad. I had it the worst, of course. Well, he brings it home while I'm sick, and we start taking it, and I start giving it to the kids before they even had any symptoms. So they came down with a slight fever with nothing else. They were better in like 2 days. I mean, and it's because they had the elderberry syrup. I know it. I know it's because of that elderberry syrup. It cured them. And my elderberry syrup, I put cinnamon and cloves and ginger in, and I think those ingredients help too. You see, I still have that little cough hiding. Ginger wine. We were supposed to make ginger wine roadside Dan. Tell Ryan to get his butt moving. I have ginger set aside just for making wine, and he still hasn't made it. But it's because we have muscadine wine in the fermenter, I think, is his excuse. Ryan, you had a question up here. What kind of wine does Ryan make, and what's his favorite?
muscadine, hands down, is my favorite. But I've made a whole bunch of different kinds of wine, from peach to blueberry, strawberry. We've done stuff with apples. We did a herbal wine with Damiana and lemon balm, and that was really good. And most interesting though, beet wine.
I agree.
Yeah, that was really good. Actually, it turned out really good.
The beet wine was very earthy, and I just have to say that Off-Grid Doug and Stacy's in the house. What's up, Homestead homies? He thinks I have a crush on him. It's really Stacy I have a crush on. Don't tell him that though, because he gets all upset about it. Susan Sullivan has dehydrated honey. That's very interesting. Oh, good. Hickory Hill dehydrated our ginger that we sent them today. That's a great idea to dehydrate it, and then you can grind it up. I freeze a lot of mine so that I can put it in smoothies. I've been noticing from your videos that your children are 100% all boys. LOL. Yes, all except for my daughter. She's 100% all girl. She went through tomboy stage, but she's such a girl now. But you don't see her in the videos hardly ever. She barely comes home and visits me anymore. I'm sorry. It's hard when I'm reading through the comments and I see that you guys are talking to each other and not me, and I'm like trying to figure out which ones are for me so I don't say something out loud I'm not supposed to, like I did earlier. Oh. So if you have any questions, please put them in all caps. I'm gonna scroll up and see if I missed anything. Did you make more elderberry syrup in your Instant Pot? No, I was gonna make it in my Instant Pot and I totally forgot to. So we did get some elderberries from a good friend. And we're gonna definitely, we should be taking it already, I know. But Ryan had gotten that bottle of elderberry syrup, so we were surviving on that. But it's definitely better homemade. It tastes way better homemade, I think. I don't think I like the taste of glycerin. I've been experimenting with making tinctures in glycerin so that the boys could take it and have it not be, alcohol. So, because you don't really want to give that to the kids. I've tried like letting that alcohol evaporate out of the tinctures before I give it to them, but it's still got, I have to mix it with honey anyway. So, glycerin-based tinctures is a good way to go for kid stuff, but it's too sweet. I like the taste of honey though. Maybe I wonder if you can do a honey tincture, like the same way you do glycerin.
Roadside Dan asked what I'm drinking. It's Red Rock Ginger Ale.
This is a local ginger ale and it's very spicy. Very, very spicy. Okay, sorry. Rocky Brook Farm said, how many goats do you have and what breeds? We have 21 goats. 2 of them will be gone eventually because they're bucklings. We have mostly Nubians. We have a couple of Alpines. Then we have a mini Alpine, which is crossed with Nigerian dwarf, and her daughter is 3/4 mini because her dad was also a Nigerian dwarf. I wouldn't mind having some Nigerian dwarf goats, really.
I wouldn't mind having that dog that Trisha's trying to get rid of.
I love your dog.
He talks. I like it.
He's so sweet. Hey, come visit me and bring me the dog. The Passionate Gardener asks, they would like to know goat breeds for beginners. I have a hard time with that question. I get that question a lot because I would say Nigerian dwarf because they're small, so they're easy to handle. Even if you have like an out of control buck, you can pick them up. What did I just knock down? So he's, it's not gonna, they're really easy to handle. But I think that Nubians are the best goats in the world. So, but they can be noisier goats. If you don't want a goat that makes a lot of noise, then you might not want Nubians. They are the noisiest of the goats. But, I've got 2 really, really big talkers, and it's still not that bad. Shady Girl and Fancy are pretty talkative goats, and they're not that bad. And what's funny is when Dave gave them to me, that was half the reason he gave them. He was like, these talkers won't shut up. Take them.
We want to play with Mama's bubbles. So then I just saw it at the whole thing.
I am looking up while he goes and sees what the kids did. Wholesome Roots, do you cook over a fire ever? Asked Roadside Dan. Not usually. We used to go camping more often and would cook over a fire. We like to use cast iron. We have a cast iron grill, like grates, that we can use right over the campfire. Just put rocks to support it on each side, and we also have a cast iron Dutch oven that we can cook over fire. But we don't ever get to go camping anymore. We grill outside and grill. I don't think I missed any other questions. Scrolling back down. I've heard fainting goats are great for clearing brush out. Is that true? I think pretty much any goat's going to clear out your brush. I don't know if there's one in particular that like to clear it out more than another. Like Rocky Bird said too. Yeah, they all like brush. They're all really good at clearing out stuff. Reading the comments, seeing if there's any questions. If there are any questions, please put them in all caps. That's weird. Annie Gaddis says my browser doesn't recognize your video format. I'm not sure if anybody can answer them. Maybe they need to refresh.
Oh, we've been on over an hour.
Oh my gosh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, Trisha, I am so sorry Sarah's having a meltdown. Go take care of her, honey. Thank you for moderating. I appreciate it. And we're going to have to wrap this up. We're at the hour mark. I thank you guys all for coming. This was fun. This was fun, right? You had fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
So we can do this again next Friday, okay? So let's do this again next Friday. And you guys will know that we're going to be here and we'll have fun again. And maybe we'll try to get a topic set up to talk about. If anybody wants to make any suggestions on that, feel free. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, CZ Horses just got here. Hey, I have a buck for you. You see that? We're going to get our Nigerian dwarf buck. Hickory Hill's going to bring it to us. Night, everyone.
You bring a buck, you take a buck.
I'm just going to say goodnight as everybody's saying goodnight. And then we're going to head out ourselves. If anybody has any last minute important questions, please let me know. Brownco Homestead, I wish we had room to board somebody. I would totally have a woofer come and help us with the garden. But we don't have anywhere to put an extra person. We're kind of overcrowded in this house as it is.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. It was fun.
It was. She said she'll take a little boy, like Rowan or Liam. Can't have my boys. No. You can't take my goats.
Oh, if they bring one, they get to take one,
Yeah, which boy would you give? Which boy? Because you said we couldn't trade Fluffernutter for a better buck, like we were offered by his breeder.
Eugene's a weather. He's like the biggest.
He's not really a buck. He's a weather.
He's a weather, but I mean, he's like the biggest eater.
He is. Eugene is probably our most useless goat.
He's like a big Buddha, though. You can just pet him and tell him all of your worries and concerns, and he just...
Check your Facebook mail. I will check my Facebook mail share. I hope it's good. All right, everybody give thumbs up before you leave. Yes, Ryan would have to force me. If he made me get rid of a buck, he would have to be the one to decide which one. It wouldn't be Bo. Bo's never going anywhere. He'll always have a home here. That's my first goat. Him and Fancy Girl were the first two goats on this property, and they will be with me to the end. All right, I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you back next Friday, same time, same place.
Good night.
And we'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots. Did you want to do a sign up?
I don't know how to sign up from live. I'm like, you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe to our videos if you haven't already. Click the like button. Tell all of your friends. Maybe show them a video over lunch. The possibilities are endless. But yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight, and it's been great.
Thank you guys. Thank you for everything. We'll see you guys next time. I need to figure out how to turn this off. Oh goodness. That's funny. The boys are melting down too at the same time. All right, I think that's the button I'm supposed to push. Bye everyone. Bye.